Hey everyone, Leanne here from Kingdom Bloggers. So this week we are continuing on with our video content creation challenge, and we are going to be focusing on the art of B-roll. So what is B-roll? B-roll is basically a collection of just random clips that you record with your phone throughout the day. Whenever you've watched any, especially social media content on Instagram or TikTok or Facebook or whatever, and, sometimes you see a person talking like I'm talking to you now, but sometimes the video is just aesthetic. It's like a short 5-second clip of the sun rising or someone walking, a butterfly on a flower or just anything, someone making a cup of coffee, literally a view of them making the coffee, or maybe just a view of the coffee pouring, dripping out of the coffee maker into the cup. It's just random clips of your life and things you are doing throughout the day. Now, I know for many of us, this can be a bit awkward at first because for most of us, especially as older generation people, we're just not used to, recording every aspect of our life. The younger generation that has just been a part of what they've grown up with, so it's not as weird for them. But for Christian women and men too, I guess, you kind of add that like vanity concept to it. That's like, I don't want to just be recording myself all day because that's vain. Well, you're not necessarily recording just you. As I mentioned, it's just general things that you can later use to help tell the story of the message that your videos are meant to share. Now, some of you follow me on social media, and YouTube and Instagram and all the places. And I actually have 3 channels. So I have this one that is for teaching. I don't really use B-roll in this because it's literally just me on the screen. But on my other channels, I do use a combination of me talking about a message, but also just things. I mean, anything that we encounter during the day can be used to tell some part of the story of Jesus and what it means to be a Christian. And visual cues are very powerful in capturing attention, but also in invoking like emotion as it pertains to the message that you're sharing, right? That's why video is so powerful, because we can visually see and, envision whatever the message is. And also, it keeps your message from being boring. I mean, and I'll be honest, many of you have told me this. You're like, I'm kind of boring. I've personally not really been told that because I tend to be very live and animated. But even with that, it's some people just don't want to listen to you talk. They need visual cues. Our brains have kind of been reformatted, retrained because of social media, and we have short attention spans. And so keeping the same frame for a long period of time, even if what I'm talking about is interesting, can be very difficult for some people. And so, videos in which the screen changes, it's like a trigger to your brain. It's like, hey, something changed. Let me keep listening. And so, aside from helping to tell the story, it can also help keep the brain engaged with your content. And another really cool thing too, if you are recording what we call talking head videos, we're going to do a whole lesson on that, but that's just me talking on the frame of the phone. It's nothing else. Let's say you record a whole video, and some important words that you use, the visual of it, maybe you were doing this and you don't really want that as you're speaking. You can actually cover up the visual mistakes of your talking videos by simply putting an overlay of a relevant clip of video that kind of goes along with the story you're telling, right? So these B-roll clips have so many uses. So here's some examples, some really like simple examples from a Bible study kind of way. So you literally a visual, like putting the camera up, and it's kind of an over your shoulder of you writing or reading or turning the pages of your Bible. You don't even have to show your face on these. Now, I will say at some point you do want to have video that shows your face, because I've said this before, your face matters. It is how the audience is really going to connect with you, because they see you as a real person, and something about you is going to connect with them. Your age, your hair color, your nationality, your whatever right? Your wrinkles. And so eventually you're going to do a combination of both. And don't worry, we're going to do those throughout this challenge. But for those of you who are not quite ready, or maybe you're sick, here's another one. Maybe you're sick and you do use a lot of face videos, but you just, for whatever reason, or maybe you woke up with a big, pimple on your face. I don't know. These B-roll clips can really help you add additional content and depth to your message. So clips of you either over where you're not seeing your face, or a front view of you, reading your Bible, writing in your journal, literally the words that you've already written as you're writing them. So really it just kind of sees your hand writing the words. So that's really great. For the ones where you're reading a Bible verse, you can just do a 5-second video of your finger reading that verse, like a screen of the Bible itself, like just the text on the Bible, and then pan to that as you're reading it. Making your coffee, like you walking around your kitchen. I'm sure you've seen those all over social media where, the woman's doing different things in her kitchen, or literally just a view of you, like the coffee being made. And the cool thing is you can record like the whole thing with the video or the camera in one place, and then go through and cut out the pieces that you want. So you don't have to set it up every time to get this and that. Just set it up and then go through and cut out the stuff you don't need. I'm actually going to show you a channel on YouTube, my friend Rachel, who literally is the master of B-roll. I have to believe she has cameras all over her house because she is just B-rolling her entire life, and it's great. Other things you can do, literally holding the phone like this as you're walking. So it's like getting your feet, your legs, your feet, walking your dogs, panning to see, the scenery as you're walking by the beach or by a river, or just whatever you have available to you, the flowers, a hummingbird, a butterfly that has set on a leaf on a plant or something. I mean, there's just literally anything. If you want to go the extra mile, like footage of you walking towards your car to where like you're kind of holding it this way, so it's like your feet and then you opening the door. It's just capturing your life. And whether you are straight up Bible study, like that's all you do, or you're more of like a mom lifestyle kind of blogger, just record the things you're already doing, because your message tends to relate to what you're doing and how to incorporate Jesus into that. And so do the show and tell with your message. It's not just always you speaking. Okay. All right. So here's some how do you capture it naturally? I always get that question. We don't want it to look like it's scripted. I've seen some videos like on TikTok or whatever, and the person just quite hasn't gotten down the editing, and the video starts and you can tell they're waiting for the cue to start walking. Just put the phone on a tripod or sit it on the counter, or if you're out in public, sit it on a bench. And put it in the viewpoint of where you're going to be, and just turn it on and then just walk. So it's going to catch your backside as you're walking, and it's going to catch you coming back and reaching for the camera. You can cut all of that stuff out. You don't want it to look scripted. You want it to capture the naturalness of just your daily life, right? I recommend always filming like this, because we're talking for this challenge for our phone for social media. So they should be in the up and down mode. You can, do it where it's recording this way. You can do front facing if it's you. It doesn't really matter. There's settings on your phone. We'll talk about that later. You don't need a fancy setup. You need good lighting. So if you're inside your house, I've already mentioned a ring light, right? Me without. The light is important, but if you're outside, you already have the light. I mean, the sun is like there, right? So what else? Just show things throughout the day. And I'm going to actually give you, for this challenge, which will be another video, the exact tasking. It's going to give you a list of things that you are going to capture, just to kind of get you into the mindset of it, okay? So what do we do with all the B-roll? Here's the thing. You are just this is not like just go out and do it and then you're done, right? This is an ongoing thing to become like a part of just your natural thing you do every day, like you get up, you make your coffee, you get up, you read your Bible. If you are going out, you grab your purse, ladies, whatever it is. The habit of picking up your phone and like actually hitting record needs to be like, we have to train our brains to do this. Okay. Some of you already do it and that's great. But for many of you, it's going to take a while to build up that habit. Okay. When you're out eating, when you're just whatever. So things we will do with it. Number one, we will use it for short, say 5 to 10 second of a single clip where it's just one video. And you may put some background music with a text overlay, like this video right here. I always say when you are recording clips, I always record in 10-second increments because if I want it to be a single frame, like just this one clip, I like 10 seconds for my videos. That's just my preference. Because if you have text on it, some people are slow readers. So if it's less than 10, sometimes it's hard for them to read it. So another way you'll use it is what I call the montage. It's the B-roll. And this is where you would probably do a voiceover, but you could also do the text overlay. It doesn't really matter. But these are going to be longer. So it's going to be multiple clips kind of montaged together to sort of tell a story that matches the voiceover or the text on the screen. And then, of course, I mentioned this already, you can do a talking head video and then add in visual cues from the B-roll. And so you'll be talking, and then the frame will cut to the B-roll, but your original audio from your talking video is still there. And this is an example of that one. This was actually a Amazon review video that I did for a product I had bought for my dog. So I'm talking head, and then I'm like showing what I'm talking about. So lots of different things you can do with B-roll. And the great thing is you can reuse it over and over. Like it's not one and done it. You can use this one clip for this one social media 10-second video. You can use that clip again in a montage. You could use that clip again later with just different text overlay on it. So hopefully you have a phone that has like a lot of storage. If not, I would definitely recommend you go through and clean your photo like library to get rid of just all the photos you took and didn't really ever use, or you can upload them to like Google Drive, OneDrive, whatever, just so you always have so I have a Google Drive app on my phone, so I can always access stuff that I've taken like a long time ago. And so that's basically how you'll save it, why you want all this content, and then examples of the types of video that you should be recording. This is the kind of content that can be reused, repurposed, repolished, and that you can literally use over and over again. But for now, it's building the habit of actually recording throughout your day, taking advantage of things that you come across, or just, again, capturing your daily life. Now, I do kind of want to stress it. So you don't have to have your face in these videos. B-roll is a combination of both. A lot of it is going to be aesthetic. So it's not your face. It's just the random life, the things of your day, your feet, the water, the birds, whatever. But depending on the kind of content you're creating and the message you're trying to share, seeing you in it, seeing you do is very, very powerful. Like I said, the video clips, man, for 10 to 15 seconds of, put the phone like over here. Where's my shelf? My screen is mirrored, so sometimes I'm pointing, but I'm looking at it as the opposite. So just set the phone right there. And, even from the back. So let me see. I'm going to put this one right here. I'm not going to hit record but for now. And so this would literally like be recording me from the side. And I've actually used these on YouTube Shorts for my blogging channel when I do text overlay and things like that. Just hit it and leave it on for the whole time you're doing what you're doing. Now, I do want to show you some examples. So my friend Rachel, she's been a part of my membership for a long time, and she literally is the master at the art of B-roll. Somehow she incorporates setting up her camera as just like a thing she does all day long. And it captures her life because she does storytelling. She's like homemaking and raising godly kids and things like that. And so I'm going to show you her channel here. All right, so it's motherhood and homemaking. And she actually does it for her long form, like horizontal videos as well. But I'm going to go to her shorts and let's see. I'm going to turn the audio off. She does put music in the background music, and then she sometimes does a voiceover, but sometimes she just puts text on the screen. So you can see this is a fast forward. So it's a fast mo. She just puts it off in the corner, and now she's doing homeschool with her kids. Let's see, we've got her, I don't know what she's doing here, something with the baby. Now this is her hanging clothes on the clothesline, right? It's random stuff, but it's, in her case, she's storytelling the motherhood journey, right? Let's see. She does. Now, here's the thing. So many of you probably do not want to have your children's faces on the camera. Totally fine. This is totally a personal decision. She has chosen to utilize her children in the videos because they do really invoke the emotion of the audience she's trying to reach, the message she's trying to share. But whether you show them or not is totally up to you. If you do want to incorporate your kids into it without showing their faces, then, you know, distant camera showing, kind of like almost what she was doing in this one, maybe a little farther off. You could sort of blur the screen a little bit, or always record from the back side to where it just gets like the back of their head or their little hands, things like that. It's totally up to you. But her channel is Healing Home. So I encourage you to kind of, that's an ad, go through her channel. Let me go back here. Just so you can see a full screen. I mean, some of hers, this one had 9,000 views. She's definitely out of the 200 to 400 views range. She usually gets over 1,000 on hers. Now her channel is monetized, so she does earn income. Actually, she earns more than I do from her YouTube videos. But I mean, here's one of just a duck. I think that's a duck. Yeah. Let's see. Kids doing that, doing chores. I mean, just whatever, right? So I would encourage you to go through and actually watch some of her long form too, because I mean, she does both. She does the up and down and the horizontal. But again, hers is more towards motherhood with a scriptural aspect. But she can give you some really good ideas of how she's doing it. Sometimes she'll just put that camera on and just turn it on and then go about her morning routine and then go through and take clips of it out for use later. Or she'll like do a fast mode to speed it up to get it within the 60-second range or whatever. She has done amazing with her B-roll kind of talent, if you will. Okay. Now I do want to kind of hop over here. This is one. Okay. She's talking. And this one is text and the person's reading. It's literally just clips of their dog, right? Staring. Like, this is, you know, obviously the people camping might not be necessarily in your kind of thing. So go through and look at the kinds of things where the people aren't necessarily speaking, but the types of B-roll that people are using to kind of give you like more ideas. Ultimately, it's about building habits that are going to serve you in like the long haul. And again, I mentioned it's to help you make this, you know, hit record. Now, I'll be honest, some people around you may get annoyed with you because I record when I'm out. Now, when I'm with my friends, I do ask them, is it okay if I record you? But most of my friends that I like go out to eat with and things like that, they know what I do. And if they're with me, they're going to be on my YouTube channel or social media. But if I have a new person come, I'm like, hey, are you cool being in the videos? I do share this and blah, blah, blah. So, you know, if this is like you're literally starting with this, ask the people you're with and around first. You don't want to upset any. Some people just don't want to be on video, and that's totally fine. But I record my food, right? Okay, so how is that going to apply to a biblical thing? You could do a clip of, you know, so grateful for this blessing that God has given me today, and that's literally the overlay. We're going to get into that stuff later. Right now, it's just the art of recording B-roll. Okay. All right. So that is all about B-roll. It's going to be challenging for some of you. For some of you, you probably already do this. Now you have a use for all that footage that you take. But I would encourage you, starting today from watching this video, this is not the task, by the way, the task will be in a separate video. But I would encourage you to try to give yourself a goal to record a minimum of 10-second clips of something every single day. Yes, it's going to take up space on your phone. If you don't have a lot of storage on your phone, you could totally upload them to like a Google Drive or something. But just to get in the habit, our challenge is actually going to have very specific videos for you to record. But right now, I just want you to get into the mindset of recording your life. You may think your life is boring. You may think whatever, but I promise you, utilizing your everyday life experiences in your video strategy is going to have a huge impact. All right, guys, I will see you over in the challenge. Bye-bye.